So we know the burnt or the burned is different from the burner. The illumined is different from the illuminer. The seen is different from the seer. So he says, Dahya Prakasha Kashta. Kashta means wood. Okay. See, the wood which is burnt and illumined is different from Atirikta, is different from Vetirikta, Visheshan Atirikta. Is uniquely different from Dahaka Prakashka Agni, the fire which is the burner and which is the illuminator. Tatha, similarly, Drishya Deha Drashta Vetirikta. The perceived body, from the seen body, the seer, the perceiver, Atma is different. Okay. Now, iti siddha, this is established. Etasmad api karanat deha vetirikta Atma. Now, etasmad api karanat. Now, he says, even because of this reason, the body is different from the self. What is the reason? You already gave one reason. You cannot say, even because of this, because there is only one reason given. He says, no, read further. Swapa maranadi darshanat. Etaspadapi swapa maranadi darshanadi karanat deha vetirikta Atma. So there is another difference, which is swapa marana, etc. The swapa, sleep, marana, death, etc. means coma, unconscious state, etc. All this, because of this reason also, the self is different from the body. What does that mean? So he says, okay, I'll explain the reason. Yasmin kale deham samvyapya vartate Atma kasthadivat tada deho vyavahara yogya bhavati. Okay, now, yasmin kale, at which period, at which point of time, deham samvyapya Atma vartate, the self pervading the body remains. Samvyapya, samyak vyapya means pervading the whole body exists. The self exists pervading the whole body. It pervades the whole body. It exists from the tip of your hair till the tip of your toe, because when you are hurt in both places at the same time, you experience it at the same time, not at a different times. At different times. So he says, like when the body, that when the self exists pervading the body, like the fire exists pervading the wood. See, the fire has the nature to be associated with wood. That is why we use fire for as a firewood to cook, etc. Now, if its inherent nature is fire, we won't build houses, or we won't make use of the wood with to build your to make your door and windows, right? So when it is in association with the fire, it burns. See, the iron, when you put it in fire, it doesn't immediately burn. It takes a lot of time and lot of strength in the fire to bring the iron as iron ball, or iron rod, fire rod or fireball. Okay, now that's a different thing. So the point is, there is inherent nature associated with fire, with the wood to be associated with fire. Similarly, there is some inherent nature in the body sense organ complex which remains, which is utilized by the self to be associated. That is why there is no consciousness in the pot, etc. But the body, etc., there is consciousness. But when this consciousness, when this self leaves the body, then it is same as the wood or the same as the pot, etc. There is no difference. That is why he says, Atma, at which point of time the self pervades the body, at that point of time, the body is capable of a transaction. It is not just this body transacting, it is the other body transacting with this body also. Both transactions are possible. See, like because of some psychological problem or something, some people keep the dead body in their house of their mother or son or whatever. They keep that. They hide it from people because it is against law to keep somebody's body in your house, right? But they keep it. But still, they don't do the same transaction as earlier. They don't go to picnic with that body. They don't go to movies with that body. They don't go out with that body. No, they keep it hidden. That is one thing. There is another scene with this also, which is like in Bhajagovindam says, Bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. Bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. That very body which the wife enjoyed, now she is afraid to be alone with that body. Oh, you're leaving me alone. Earlier, that body had a name. Now, there is no name. It is body. So, even others, they don't ask, when are you going to bury or burn Ram, Krishna, Kumar, whatever. No, they don't ask like that. They say, when are you going to bury or burn this body? It becomes body now, common name. So, there is no transaction possible by the body or with the body. Okay? Yada dehad only when the consciousness remains, only when the self is associated, pervades the body, then all the transaction is possible. Now, yada dehad apasarpati tada deha kashtadisadrusho bhavati. When the self leaves, apasarpati means leaves. When the self leaves the body, then the body is similar to a wood. See, when the fire is there in the wood, then the wood can be, that wood which has fire can be used for cooking, etc. Now, when there is no fire in the wood, then there is no transaction of cooking, etc. Similarly, when there is no self in the body, then there is no transaction as before. Tasmad deha vyatirikta atma. Therefore, we understand that the self is different from the body. Okay. Now, the logical Panchamaya Kosha Veka, in the Panchamaya Kosha Veka, the logical next step is Pranamaya. Now, there are some people who confuse, we are not talking about the body, we are talking about the sense organ, eye, ear, etc. Why? How can you say that? I say, I am, when I say I refer to the body. I don't say I with reference to the eye or nose or ear, etc. So, how can these idiots claim the sense organs to be the self? That is not a stupidity. Actually, there is a logic there also. Every madness has a method, logic. Thing is, here, I am blind. I am blind. I am deaf. I am dumb. So, all these different attributes of the sense organ, the power of lack of power of the sense organ is referred with I am. So, people confuse that I with the sense organ. I am body. Now, I am deaf. I am dumb. So, they confuse that with the sense organ. There is some Charvaka school in the materialistic school, which accept this. So, they are taken into consideration. Chakshurapi atmana bhavati rupa grahana sadhanatvat pradeepavat. Here also again the same a similar syllogism. He says chakshuhu, the object, the place where we want to establish chakshuhu. Atmana bhavati is not the that which we want to establish, is atmana bhavati, the primary term they say. So major term, minor term, etc. That's it. So the major term. For atmana bhavati. Why? What is the reason? Rupa grahana sadhanatvat. And what is the example? Pradeepavat. Now it is not Ghatavati, it is Pradeepavat. Okay. Now, what does he mean here? Chakshurapi, the eye also cannot be the self, because the sense organ of seeing, etc., are instrument. Sadhana means instrument, means for gaining the form, etc. Like a lamp. Lamp illumines the object. Lamp does not see the object. The eye illumines the object. Eye does not grasp the knowledge of the object. It is just a means. So that cannot be the self. He is explaining the logic, syllogism. Yatha pradipena karanena rupam upalabhyate. Like the instrument called the lamp, we gain the knowledge of the form. Tatha, similarly, chakshuradi karanena rupam upalabhyate. We gain the knowledge of the sense, the objects, form, etc. through the sense organ of eye, etc. So they have similar trait. But you are talking about only eye. Now I am talking about my ears. I am talking about my nose, etc. Like, wait, evam itarányapi karanani. Similar is the case for the other sense organ also. The sense organs cannot be the self because they are only means for the knowledge of the objects, etc., forms, etc. Like the lamp. Okay, now the logic is complete. After negating the body sense, next the logical thing is after Annamaya Kosha, we go to the Pranamaya Kosha. But instead of Pranamaya Kosha, he goes to the Manomaya Kosha. There is logic to this also. Everywhere there is logic. Why? Instead of doing Manomaya Kosha, he's jumping to instead of talking about Pranamaya Kosha, the vital sheath, he is going to Manomaya Kosha. He is going to come back to the Pranamaya Kosha again later. Why? Why is it using this logic, this order? There are two orders. One is the Artha Krama. The other is Patha Krama. Patha Krama means the order in which it is read. Artha Krama means the order in which it is done. Okay, like let us say, when we are doing puja, we have all these objects in close to us. Now we are lighting the lamp. Lamp is that which you need at the beginning, but the camphor and the agarbatti, the incense stick, they are going to be used later. But with the same light, you light that start the agarbatti also, the incense stick also, and the camphor also sometimes. This arthakama, utility, order of utility. Instead of order of study, of order in which it is sequence in which it is read, you are using a sequence which is a utility based. Now this is utility based. Manaha. But what is the utility here? See, body means hands, legs, etc. Hands, legs, etc. means they are sense organs of action. Eye, etc. are sense organs of knowledge. So we saw sense organ of action, sense organ of knowledge. Now the logical step next is the antakarana, antaha and inside, internal. Karana means instrument, internal instrument. So we saw the external instruments, sense organs of knowledge and sense organ of action. Now we are talking about internal instrument, which is accepted by the Sankhya people as ubhayatmakamatra manaha. The mind is both sense organ of action and sense organ of knowledge. Even here in Vedanta, manas sashthani indriyani, Bhagavad Gita, it is said mind is the sixth sense organ. So accepting that, here also we can say the mind is the inner instrument, which is both a sense organ of action and sense organ of knowledge. So he is taking up mind because of this sequence, okay, this order. Now, mano api atmana bhavati drishyatvat karanatvat cha pradipavat. Mind also is not self, because it is seen, because it is instrument, like lamp. Now you see there is two reasons given here. There are two reasons given here. One is drishyatvat, which is for the objects, the body we used. and then karanatvat, instrument, which is we use for the sense organ of seeing, etc. So the sense organ of action, drishyatvat, sense organ of knowledge, karanatvat, both are used for mind because mind is both sense organ. Okay, so mind is not the self because it is a perceived, because it is an instrument like the lamp. Because lamp is perceived as well, it is an instrument. You can see if the lamp is lit or not. You can use that light to illumine the other objects, right? So one example is good enough. You don't need to say two examples for each one of them. One example which fits drishyatvat and karanatvat is good enough. Since it is perceived, since it's an instrument, both are fitting in the lamp. So done. So the mind sheath, manomaya kosha is negated. Annamaya kosha, manomaya kosha. Then buddhihi, the vijnanamaya kosha. The Buddhist or the Mimamsakas, they accept the vijnanamaya, the intellect as the intellect sheath as the self. So we go to the intellect sheath. Buddhirapi atmana bhavati drishyatvat karanatvat cha pradipavateva. The intellect is also not the self because it is perceived, because it is instrumental like the lamp, again like the lamp. Similar, same example. Now wait. We know the inner organ, the antakarana, has different functionalities. When it is doubtful, when it is intentional, is it like that or oh, I will do it like this. When you have that intention or that doubt, etc., then it is called as a mind. The same internal organ, when it is determined, nischayatmiko buddhi, when it is determined, this is how it is. Whether it's right or wrong, that's a different thing. This is how it is. That is called as intellect. Now, when you have taken care of mind, you have as well taken care of intellect, right? But some people, this is the problem. This is the exact problem. We see one as two different things. The same mind, when it is functioning this way, when it is functioning this way, it is all mind. But we see it as two different things. When it is doubtful and has intentions, it is seen as a different person, different object. And when it is determined, it is seen as a different object. This is one problem. Okay? One thing seen as two different things. And earlier with body, sense organ, etc., there two things, the seer and the seen are entirely different, but still we see that as one. This is the problem. So that is why he is treating that also independently. Buddhi, the intellect, is also not the self, and it is also taking care of the annamaya, vijnanamaya kosha, which is the logical next step after manomaya kosha. Okay, so buddhi rapi atmana bhavati, the intellect also, intellect sheath also, the intellect also is not the self because it is perceived, because it is an instrument like the lamp. Now after this, the next is pranamaya kosha. See, the prana and the antakarana, the thought functions and the prana, they stem from the same place, the heart. When it is the thought functions, then it is a jnana shakti. When it is the prana, vital air, it is kriya shakti. So jnana shakti pradhana, kriya shakti pradhana, they stem from the same place. So after finishing the jnana shakti, we come to the kriya shakti, pranamaya. We will see this. Om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamadachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.